Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about the South Node and major adverse aspect to the Midheaven or MC in a natal chart. As most of you know, the South Node is what is connected with what we often accentuate very strongly or emphasize strongly in our charts. At some point in time it becomes, well, I guess the way I look at it is kind of a monotonous point. The redundant spot is what I refer to it as, and we generally will divert over to the North Node, perhaps around approximately age 30 or so, while not necessarily eradicating the South Node energy completely, but merely integrating it at least somewhat with the North Node energy. Now, when we look at the Midheaven or MC or the 10th house cusp, that is connected with the career, livelihood, notoriety, status, and recognition, standing in the community, prestige. We look at that also as often the dominant parent, which is often the father, authority figures, superiors, supervisors. Well, anyway, let me get started. The first thing, if somebody has the South Node in a major adverse aspect to the MC or Midheaven in a natal chart, it often can indicate that perhaps there were career matters, maybe that had conflicted with this person, with their development of their South Node abilities, or what they wanted to emphasize. There might have been maybe kind of like a perpetual tug of war between what they wanted to emphasize, which was associated with the South Node, and far as career, notoriety, their recognition goes. Perhaps the dominant parent, maybe that person had some needs that dominated to some degree, and maybe it conflicted with what the person was trying to emphasize for his or herself, especially during the first part of the person's life. This could be perhaps a placement where when we look at the South Node, it's about what we emphasize strongly or accentuate. Perhaps this might have caused maybe the dominant parent might not have been in agreement with whatever it was this person was doing their first part of their life to some degree. Maybe it wasn't in favor with this parent, which is often the father. We look at these aspects, and of course a lot depends on the house placements. If somebody has, say, the South Node in the 4th house and it opposes their MC, it could indicate that perhaps there might have been maybe things going on in their home life, maybe things with emotional security, their family, that might have been preventing them from maybe attaining that status, that acclaim, or maybe just things pertaining to their career or livelihood to some degree. There might have been too much of a focus on things related to the home and family, or vice versa. Perhaps maybe career interests dominated so much that it was somewhat precluding the person from maximizing what they wanted to do as far as what they wanted to emphasize in association with their South Node. We look at this also now if we take a square, for example, from, let's say, a square from the 1st house to the MC, the South Node in the 1st house. Perhaps this person may have been trying to attend to their more egocentric needs, maybe to some degree, and just maybe their appearance, their physical body. There may have been things worrying maybe too much, maybe being too fixated on their own impression, their first impression they would make on others, where maybe it somehow conflicted with what they wanted to do as far as their career, livelihood, their ambitions went. The positive side is for people that have the opposition with the South Node to the Midheaven or MC. They have the conjunction with the North Node to the MC. So in the latter part of the person's life, it's often the person, their livelihood, their ambitions, their career needs could very strongly be connected with their soul's mission and purpose, and those abilities can integrate very strongly in that second part of the person's life. Obviously, if they have the square with the south node to the midheaven, then they're going to have the square with the north node to the midheaven. So the thing is, it just really understanding too that if you have square aspects involving the nodes in general, is that often what happens is, which is distinct from the other aspects, that the person can be kind of might vacillate a little more with the north node energy and the south node, and feel perhaps the negative effects of both a little bit more, perhaps even after age 30. So it's important to at least try to integrate this positively somehow, in more, even with the negative aspect, emphasize the north node energy in the latter part of life, and not eradicating the south node completely, but merely maybe using it a little bit less, integrating it with the north node somewhat, but emphasizing the north node. And anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for the south node and major adverse aspect to the midheaven, or MC, in the natal chart. Stay tuned next time, where I'll be, actually I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to be talking about, because I'm going to leave it as a surprise, and you'll find out next time what it is. I'm done with the south node aspects, so I'm going to let you guys wonder what am I going to be talking about next time. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because a person astrologically is the sum of all their components in their natal chart, and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.